Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Unashamed Man podcast. I am your host, Clint, and in this episode, I have a question for you, and I want to break it down. Is God enough for today? Now, I got to give credit where credit is due. A few sections of this and bits of this come from a devotional from Greg Laurie. And what it kicks off with is, so don't worry about for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today is trouble enough for today. That is Matthew 6:34. Have you ever been gripped by fear? You know the feeling. Your blood goes cold. You get that shiver that goes down your spine. Your hair stands on end. Your stomach sinks. Your mouth goes dry. Then there is the other emotion that is often coupled with fear, and that is worry. There is a lot of things that people can worry about. The state of our country, the economy, terrorism, the threats of war. We are a nation filled with worry. Bank accounts, jobs, everything. And I have people that ask me, how do you get over fear? This episode will break that down. But there is nothing productive about worry. In fact, the word worry comes from an old German word that means to choke or to strangle. And that is exactly what worry does. It chokes you spiritually. It creates an emotional and mental stranglehold on your life. It doesn't ever make anything better. In fact, it only makes them worse. That is why Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount said, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today is trouble enough for today. And like I said, that is Matthew 6:34. Also, Paul tackles this problem in Philippians 4:6-7 when he wrote, do not worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all that He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your heart and minds as you live in Jesus Christ. Now think back where Paul was and what was happening to him when he wrote this letter to the church of Philippi. Where was Paul when he wrote these words? He was incarcerated in Rome. He didn't even know what was going to happen to him, or if he was fixing to be persecuted for the gospel. Was he going to get out of jail? What? So there was Paul in a difficult situation, and what did he say? Do not worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. And in some versions it says, do not be anxious for anything, but in all things pray. And think how rampant that anxiety and depression have gotten in today's times, and how it affects everything and everywhere. What happens with worry is that our hope pulls us in one direction while our fears pull us into another. When you worry about the future, you cripple yourself in the present. Worrying does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, but it empties today of its strength. Also, do not boast about for tomorrow, for we must learn to live in this day and this time for what it is and what we are facing. In James 4:13 through 16, come now, who says today or tomorrow we will go and do such and in such city? We will spend a year there. We will buy, we will sell, we will make a profit. Whereas you do not know what will happen tomorrow. For what is your life? It is a vapor that appears now for a little time, then vanishes away. Instead, we ought to say, if the Lord wills, we shall live, and we will do this or we will do that. But now you boast in your arrogance. Such boasting is evil. But I want to go back to what I was saying about anxiety and depression. I haven't done my full testimony. I've been diagnosed with PSTD. And I know what it is to get anxious at times. And that's when I have to settle myself, redirect my thoughts, and get back to where I should be. But think on what Paul says. Do not be anxious or worry about anything, but in all things pray. And it's just like in James says, pray without ceasing. And moments that we're in these kind of situations, we need to be seeking God. Seeking Him for comfort, seeking Him for direction, seeking His Word, reading His Word. Because over the years, I have found that is what calms my anxiety, stops my worry, because I know and I have proof time and time again, God will supply our needs. Not always our wants, but God will supply our needs. He will calm the anxiety. He will take away the worry. And like I was talking about in the last episode, He will be loving on us, giving us that comfort, giving us that strength. So this next week, I want you to think about, and I challenge you to meditate on Matthew 6:34. Do not worry about for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today is enough. Then also on Philippians 4:6 and 7. We'll just stop in 6. Do not worry about anything. Do not be anxious about anything, but in all things pray. Seek God. Seek God's Word and what His Word is telling us. So I hope y'all have a blessed week. And I can't wait for the episodes that are coming after this one. I am about to do my full testimony, and I'll go ahead and drop the bombshell of a special show that is coming up. It is porn versus the church versus Christianity. What does God say and what does Jesus say about porn or lust, and I am going to drop statistics in this show that are literally going to blow your mind with the research I've done. I've finally gotten that show put together, and it will be recorded within the next week or so and put up as a special edition show. Again, y'all have a blessed week, and thank you as always for tuning in to the Unashamed Man podcast. Y'all have a blessed week. Thank you for listening this week to the Unashamed Man podcast. Please like, subscribe, and follow our podcast. You may find us on youtube.com at the Unashamed Man.